It's gone.
Willie Stargell explodes one out of here to deep.
It is such a great feeling, a very special feeling for me particularly, as I look around and I see so many people who have inspired me, who've pushed me, more importantly, who's trusted me. And I think this is one of the things that baseball has afforded me the opportunity to rub shoulders with so many fine people.
We are approaching our 17th annual event, and when we started this 17 years ago, the idea was, let's just roll and see how far we can go with it. And I remember, well, I think year 5, the owner of the Pirates then, Kevin McClatchy, said to me, you know, every golf event has a shelf life, and this might be your year to say, we're done. And we got through the 5th and said, not quite, maybe we'll make it to 10. And when we got to 10, we just said, we're not setting limits, and here we are at year 17. And this is an event that's bigger and stronger than it's ever been. And I'm so, so thankful to the sponsors and celebrities that come out every year for this event.
As far as assistance from Willie Stargell, it's been a big help with access to medications, transportation, not just local, but to appointments, medical appointments out of town, like Duke, UNC. In particular, it's helped one of my patients to get a prosthesis after a recent amputation. It's also helped a patient actually that was not able to get a transplant locally fly to another state to get a transplant, which was successful. So definitely opens up a lot of doors for our patients.
Oh yeah, Willie Stargell Foundation paid for my round trip ticket to go from here to I think I flew into O'Hare and back. I had friends to stay with, but what I needed was the trip itself, and to be able to go out and be assessed for transplant. And then I ultimately ended up going out just a few months ago to Tucson. And Willie Stargell paid my flight there so I could get a transplant in itself. So it played an essential role in my getting this stuff together, because so much insurance and stuff just doesn't pay for things like flights or housing and all that sort of stuff it's missing in our health insurance industry so often. And that just plugged in one of the gaps that I had trying to put things together to be able to go out and succeed in getting off dialysis and living again. I didn't have the assistance from Willie Stargell Foundation. I would have to raise money while sick, a sick person going out trying to do what's necessary. And this just made life a lot easier to have Willie Stargell there for me and having that fund available.
Katie benefited from the Willie Stargell Foundation greatly. One of our biggest impacts, I'd say. She had an amputation and was hospitalized for some time, and Willie Stargell actually helped to get her a prosthesis.
The social worker that's now working at DaVita is named Katie as well. And she was the one that put me in touch with the Willie Stargell Foundation. And she got me the application and told me all about it. I filled out my application, and lo and behold, they were able to pay for my new prosthetic on the left side. They were able to pay half of that cost, which is amazing. More than I could have expected, honestly, because if I was responsible for the 20% that Medicare doesn't pay, I'd probably still be paying on it for 10 years. So it's a huge weight off of my shoulders. The last hospitalization in New Hanover Regional, I had to dialyze, obviously, so they took me to the dialysis floor, and I was laying in my bed, and I looked over on the wall and I saw a Willie Stargell plaque. And so I asked the nurse, what that was all about, and she said, they donated every machine in here, everything we need, we got from them, and it was all top of the line, It was all beautiful. The unit is very small. It's only about 9 beds, but everything is just gorgeous. And so it was a surprise to me there too, how much they're doing. More than I ever knew. And I'm new to Willie Stargell, so it was a nice thing to see that.
Every machine that's in the Willie Stargell dialysis unit has been purchased through the Willie Stargell Foundation, and they are state-of-the-art machines. They're the best in the world, and we know that we're raising money to help those patients in those beds have a chance at living.
These are my 2 sons. I've been Kamali and Marshall. Marshall has been in my life ever since he was 16 years old, and now he's we'll be turning 21 in April. Kamali has been in my life a little bit longer, but he would been permanently with me when he turned 15, and now Kamali is 24. And here we are. This is a story, glorious story about the kidney transplant. Yeah, well, a couple of years ago, Kamali was diagnosed with stage 4 chronic kidney disease, and so he was supposed to go on dialysis, and as his kidney function kept getting lower and lower, he needed a donor, and so Marshall said that he wanted to be a donor, and come to find out Marshall has the exact same blood type and the exact same kidney match. Miracle. It really started after going to Greenville after the storm. Hurricane Florence came, and we lost our home due to some damages, and then we had to live with family, but we just kept moving, kept going, doctor's appointments.
But this was perfect for me, because this is something I was going to do, and with me being the exact blood type match for my brother, I knew it had to do something with a higher power.
When I first found out that I need a kidney, basically, everything just stops, you know what I'm saying? Because you just found out your kidneys are not functioning. At first, yeah, I was shocked because that's bad news on top of itself. Being young, you're supposed to be, unstoppable, you know what I'm saying?
Feel that way anyways.
Yeah, you feel that way, but when you hear news like that, it hurts you. And yeah, it's been frustrating, but after my brother came in the picture, we found out we both got O negative blood type, and we got everything situated, and he was going to be my donor, so I was super happy. I think during that time period, I was just going to wait to be on the list, and this is when he showed up and said, I'll give you my kidney. So I'm like, I tried to talk about it just like any other brother would, you don't have to, you know what I'm saying, I'm going to wait on the list. He said, I'm giving you my kidney. So I'm like, okay.
The Willie Stargell Foundation is awesome. They made a way for us to go to be with Kamali at the hotel. They paid for our hotels, our food. I mean, finances was kind of tight. So I'm so thankful for the Willie Stargell Foundation. Yes, I got some emails from Margaret Stargell. She texted me and told me that she wanted to help my family, with some finances or expenses we had. And yeah, Margaret Stargell, she's awesome. Awesome lady.
I'd like to thank all of y'all for paying for the hotel, donating, helping us so my family can be there while I get my kidney transplant. I'd like to thank all of y'all.
So we've seen a tremendous growth in the need to allow for funding for individuals, and in doing so we get to see these individuals, know where the money is going to help these individuals, and I know that's what Willie would want, because all of the monies raised are with the purpose of being able to allow those who are living with kidney disease to still have a continued quality of life, and that's what we're doing and why we're doing it.
I've dedicated my life as a social worker to these patients, and it is amazing to see the change in their life that the Stargell Foundation has made. And everything you do, all of your fundraising efforts have made a huge impact. I've worked in several states, and until I came here, I've never seen any kind of foundation help like this. and just having the knowledge that I can go and get $10 and give to a patient to help them, it's just amazing for me to be able to do that. And the patients really appreciate it, the staff really appreciates it, and you make a huge difference. I wish you could actually see that difference, but I can tell you, it makes a huge difference. Every little bit helps. And just please keep doing what you're doing and donating, and you're changing lives, you really are.
And I think that's what commitment, love, and desire means to all of us. To get something that means an awful lot, that's going to allow you to share in the communities, to get there and show how you care about the things that you're fortunate enough to do and there's other people who are less fortunate. Giving. It all boils down to the people that we come in contact with.
I am so incredibly thankful to everyone that comes in every year for this event weekend. From our sponsors, celebrities, board and committee members, volunteers, and certainly my family, many of whom come from long distances to be with us every year. I am so incredibly thankful. I know that if Willie were looking down and smiling, and he is, he would humbly say, thank you.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and it is an honor. Thank you.